Hey everyone, Zach here, and welcome to the ninth lesson of this series, an introduction to Unreal Engine. In this video, we'll set up our saving and loading states. In the description below, you'll find information on how saving and loading using blueprints works. As a reminder, since we're nearing the end of this part of the series, the next part of the series will redo the content of this series. However, we'll do so using C++ code instead of blueprints. So stay tuned for that series. Make sure to do the additional reading below. And as always, there's a copy of the GitHub link in the description as well. All of that said, fire up your editor, open your project, and let's get started.
Hey there, so we're going to finish out our load and save menu. And to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to go to our blueprints. We're going to create a new a new blueprint. This blueprint is different than all other blueprints. In it, we're not going to have any functions. We're not going to have anything. It is simply a storage container. And it's going to store, in our case, just one variable. In larger games, in more complex things where you have to record health or lives or NPC relationships, this container can become very complex. And, well, all it is it's our save file. And to make it, all we're going to do is we're going to right click and we're going to go to our blueprint class and we are going to search for the word save under all classes. So select save, and we're just going to name this BP save instance. And go ahead, open that up, pin that into your screen there, and all we're going to do is we're going to add in one variable. And this variable, we're just going to call it level. And it's going to be of our enum level names. Compile and save. So all this is a container for this one variable. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to each level and we are going to create an AutoSave function. So if we go to our blueprints at the top of the screen and click the drop down, you'll see open level blueprint. And in here is where we are going to create our AutoSave feature. This feature is relatively simple. So what we're going to need to do is we need to create a save game object. So we're going to drag off this event begin play and type in create save game object. And the type of object here, we're just going to drag into it and do BP save instance, the file we just created. Now, you can skip this step. I still include it. You will get a little warning note saying you don't need to do this when you do it, but I recommend doing it anyway. And that's we're going to cast to this. So we're going to get the elements from this BP save instance. And then we're going to create a reference to it, because we're going to use this reference to call things from it, like the level. So save game ref. I'm not going to put this in a category. It's the only variable we're going to have here. We're not going to see it anywhere else. Now, that said, we will see this 3 times over. And all we're going to do is we're going to drag out from here. We are going to get a reference to the save game. And we're going to drag off this save game. And we're going to type in level. We're going to do set level. So when we cast and create references to things, we can access what's in there. We could just create the reference and access this variable, because it's this variable is part of this variable type, but we can't actually use it without having a proper cast to it or having created it. So we're going to plug that set into the save game reference. There we go. And the next thing we need to do is we need to actually save this to a slot. To do so, we're just going to drag off of here, and we're going to do save game to slot. Now, the object we're going to put into here is our save game reference. So get your save game reference again and just plug that into there. The name of this reference will be, or the slot name will be AutoSave. And the next part, we're just going to do a debugging print string. So grab off the execute pin, type in string, you'll get print string, and all we're going to do is we're going to print on the screen AutoSave. Alright, that takes care of this. Now let's just copy all of this. So Control C copy, and let's make sure this actually works. We're going to load the level up, and we see it says AutoSave up there, just behind the P1 for mouse, or click for mouse cursor control. So you can still kind of see it inside the screen there, so that's working. Next, we need to go to our next level. Let's do this in level 2. So we're going to save everything. Go to level 2, open up your blueprint. So open up the level blueprint, repeat the process. And you'll notice though now that we have a small problem. Just plug that into there. We have two small problems first off. One problem is this reference no longer exists. It's grayed out because we don't have a variable for it in this level. So to resolve that, instead of clicking here and creating the new variable, what we can do is right click on this grayed out variable and hit create variable save game ref. And there we go, it fills it in. The next issue is we need to set the level to level 2. Compile, save, Control S save, and then go to level 3 and repeat the same process over again. So we're just going to paste that in, plug in the execute pin to the create save file, right click our dead reference there and create the variable. And finally, lock that into level 3. Compile, save. Now that we've saved it, we need to be able to call this information back up and implement it. So this is going to combine a few things we've done already. It's going to combine our end level and part of our save together. So when I say end level, if we look at our trigger event at the end of each level, it does something. It opens a level, and it's using the level name reference here. We're going to replicate this, but with the save file instead. So Control S save everything, go to your maps, and enter your main menu. Now we're only entering this so we can test this out right away. Let's go to our widgets window. Let's open up our main menu widget. Plug that up to there. And let's go to our event graph. And the last thing we have in here is our unfinished load button. So we need to pull off that execute pin and type in load game from slot. And the slot we're going to load from is our AutoSave. This is case sensitive. So if this doesn't work, we're going to have to go back and double check the case. Or I can just cheat and hit the print screen here, or hit paste, and take that name from there, delete everything else out. I pasted it in a bad spot, clearly, but it works. And the S was lowercase, so it wouldn't have worked when I did this. Next, we're going to cast to our save game instance. And now we're going to create a reference to it. So let's promote to variable, and this will be our save game reference. Now that we have this reference, we can call something from it. But what we want to call is a name of the level. So we're just going to grab our reference, get it, and then we're going to call our level. And we want to get it this time, not set it. Because it's stored in here, this will remain on this system. And what we want to do is we want to convert this to a string. So enum to string. There we go. We're going to pause on that part of the node, or in that section of the node for a second, and go back up to our set save game reference. And off of this, we're going to drag out and look for open level, just like the end point on every level where we trigger the next load. So we've loaded the data in. It doesn't know what to do with this information. It doesn't know what to do with target level. So we need to tell it, well, take this and load us into that level. There we go. Now let's play to level 3 and let's test this out. So new game, there we are on the map. It said autosave at the top left corner there. And now we're in level 2. It says autosaved again. I missed that completely. Let's see if I can actually get onto it. There we go. And we'll move over to the next platform. There's that slow moving obstacle. And into level 3. Now I'm just going to hit escape and close that out. And now I'm going to hit play again. And now I'm going to hit load. And we're back in level 3 where it autosaves when we load in. There we go. So that takes us through the load and save features for the basic setup of our game. So the save, once again, is an empty container for variables. Ooh, that was bad. And that empty container just stores in it the variables that we want to keep in mind. So if we add lives to our character, if they have 3 lives, we can store number of lives. But right now, since we're just storing the level, we're using that to load up the level the player started at or finished the game at. And from there, we can look at other things we might want to include in later tutorials. That said, in the next video, at least for this version of the tutorial, we will be finishing out by creating our credits, and then for a final video, we will make an executable build of this that you can send to other people. That said, I hope you've enjoyed this series so far, and if you have, go ahead and hit that like button down below. It helps get this channel and this series out to people who might not be aware of its existence. It helps boost this channel's overall ratings. That said, if you have any questions or wish to join the Discord community, go for it. Meet us down in the Discord community, meet me in the comments, let me know what works for you in this series and what doesn't work for you. That said, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next tutorial. I know I reversed those, so let me try that again. I hope to see you in the next tutorial, and I hope that you have a wonderful day.